How are you doing today? Still can't hear you.
You're saying you can't hear that?
No.
Why?
I think just the
Background.
mic is not picking it up.
It's whatever. Okay.
Good song.
Weird. All right.
Maybe your mojo is off this week for a few reasons, Brian. Talk to us about how you're feeling about this past week.
Oh, we do reactions? Here, let me share my screen. Well, obviously, you know what? I feel good about it because you can see my screen. Yeah. Yes, you beat me. And if I had, honestly, I don't care. I think anybody can get lucky. What am I supposed to do against? What did this guy have? Where was he? Ramondre had 14 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Didn't matter though. Take him out of my lineup and I still won.
Kincaid had his first 100-yard game of his career.
Tight end 3 on the season.
Time from Garrett. Literal garbage time nonsense touchdown from Jaden Daniels.
That was funny.
Rachaad White worked out well for you. He actually had a great game, but still, he had 41 yards on 2 touchdowns. So between these two players, you had 55 yards and 4 touchdowns.
That's right.
Rushing.
Math-wise,
it's just outlier week. What can I do? And then I had a rough week, but I'm not too worried about it. I'm aimed for the end of the year. That being said, I wanted to beat you real bad. Don't get me wrong.
I needed this win, I think is how I would say it. I have a very hurt team, and I think getting ahead on the win-loss column is really big for me. So
yeah,
I'm grateful.
Big week. A victim of points against over here. Suffered casualty by 60 points to our prior champion, who we all roasted, and you owe an apology to.
Dude, Josh, I want to say, Josh was pissed after the lost pod, and he was not happy about the disrespect I put on his team's name. He's not been happy this season about how we've talked about his team, and I am sorry. His team popped off.
He told us, my kids drafted for me. So it's
I know, yeah. Okay, thank you for saying that, because he was talking shit yesterday, and I'm like, you told us that your kids drafted your team, and it looked like it.
And it made sense. It looked like a Fortnite lobby. Got a hold of his phone. But it's paying off. So, but he did the right thing. He filled people up. People need to see someone lowly rise up. He's the champ, so we're all going to be extra hard on him. Champ on champ. Recent champ won. Let's see.
This is a rough season for Mac,
lowering Mac's line from 100 down to 90. Let me know if anyone's willing to take that. It's a risk. Let's see. Nate destroyed Gliscran, which I called. Gliscran is emotionally, mentally, and sexually checked out of this league at this point.
It's sad.
Alford had a really good showing, which I also called, but you just can't stop Bo. Number 1 QB, number 1 running back.
I probably owe Bo an apology, but he didn't listen to that pod or whatever, so he didn't ask.
Yeah, he's not going to listen. He's too busy doing anything else. Al's only going to get scarier here on out. I put my faith in you, Taylor, and I would do it again. To be honest with you, I think you just got a little unlucky, but what's there to say? I guess I should have predicted Stefon Diggs getting 20 points and Waller going off.
Yeah, the Waller pickup looking good for our boy Steven.
Looking good for the guy. And then you had, obviously, Jedediah Rhea. Now I'm going to call you out on this, Austin. Last week we talked and you said, you think I do bad trades? You robbed them with that JSN for Genty trade. And I said, no, that's a really good trade for them. Genty absolutely goes off. Probably a first-round pick if we redrafted at this point, or a second-round pick. They are clearly winning that trade, but my team needs running back depth because I picked McClassry. So would you like to apologize for that vile comment?
I said I didn't think it was a good trade. and I still don't think it
You
is.
said it was a terrible trade.
I think based on the offers I knew they had on the table, I didn't like the trade. But my point in that was that people can have different opinions on trade, and that doesn't make them uneven.
Yeah, but you didn't have a valid different opinion. Look at this guy.
He's
Look at
good.
him.
He's a little bit of a touchdown dependent wide receiver 2-1.
Yeah. We love to see it though. We love to see the little guys doing things. They're not a threat. I can see them making a trade soon. That's really bad for them. Just feel it. Just get the sense that they're gonna freak out and do something. Obviously, Luke.
I don't think
on
they
the
have a
rise.
reason to. Their team is popping off. They had a high score. They had a score that would have been honorable as a high score of the week. So
That's right.
they're doing great.
Yeah, that's pretty good. We love to see it, I think. And how do we do this? So yeah, big week, fun week. Steven goes 10-0, which is nice. He's the only person who would be 10-0 at this point, I believe. If I had his schedule, I'd be 9-1 because I didn't clear median.
Checks out. Yeah, he is doing good. You still have the most points by 50 points though, so I'm just excited for this week.
Let's speak to this points for, points against. I think it is a stupid stat for a couple reasons. One, we don't know what was going on. Like, you don't know, was there a bye week? Did someone have to pick people up off the waiver wire? Like, you just don't know what's informing that. But when people try to say your team is soft because you have less points against when you have the most points in the league, just a weird argument. That being said, it is weird how the people at the bottom have the most points against and the most points, least points for. Like, those don't have to correlate, yet they seem to.
Yeah, I think you have a point if you are in the top half of the league in points for, in the bottom half in points, or if you're in the top half for points for and points against, I think then you can whine a little bit, but at the end of the day, that's why we have median. So How much can you whine before?
Well, it's just like, annoying? Yes, you have 688 points against. That is a lot, but it's still less points for than I have. That's the most. So I still have more points for than anyone has points against, and no one with 438 or 392 points is winning anything. That being said, a lot of season left. I'm sensing some investments about to pay off, some stubbornness about to go. What do you think?
I'm curious. I think that I've seen less moves since, oh my God, like I'm so glad we're done with the stupid draft dollar discussion. But I thought that was going to open the floodgates, and there's only been a few trades. So we'll see.
I have a thought on why. That's because no one's given up. One, nobody wants to come in last. That shame is like unbearable. It's not worth it. Because really, for draft dollars to help someone out, is someone has to sell.
Yeah.
People in the middle still think that they're going to rise to the top. The people at the top aren't going to give up draft dollars because they want to spend draft dollars. And then the people at the bottom, our friends at the bottom, none of them are willing to say, I could sell a player and still beat everybody. You know what I mean?
Yes, for sure.
I do think there's a point where that could change, but we'll see. I'm trying to think. No one's really like that rich. Like, I've got a good team. Steven's got a good team, but then we don't have anyone on the bench.
I think it's a wide open year. I mean, I think that you and Steven still have the best teams. Bo is sneaking up into that conversation. But, yeah, and I wouldn't say, I mean, I think Luke and Mac are going to need to have an incredible comeback to be able to make the playoffs, but they're not out of it. And then, like, Liskren, in terms of weeks, they are 2.5 weeks away from a playoff berth. And that's really, we have 9 more weeks of the regular season, so no one is really out of it yet, except maybe Luke.
I still think it's so funny that people are doing this points against thing, but I don't think you can say something if you have less points for and the lowest points against. Anyway,
some of us who are in the top half of the league in points for and points against could say things, but they won't.
Who, you?
Maybe.
Yeah, you're pretty average. Looks great. Yeah, you're sneaking up there. You're about 100 points behind me, but None of that matters
Really,
because those don't win future matchups.
that's true. That's true.
And we have an 8-team playoff, so
17.
7-team playoff. Oh, and then what? One first bye for the
Yeah,
for the top guy or girl.
good. Really quick, let's just try to cut out a couple trades that happened this week. We had Mac and Josh swap Bo Nix and Dak Prescott, and Josh gave up $2 draft. I think this was a good trade for both teams. Mac gets a few draft dollars. Josh gets a better quarterback. I will say that if they had done this trade before our picks last week, I might have gone to Josh because Dak was playing a JV defense. Great trade. Good job, guys. And then we have Luke and Taylor with the betrayal trade. This sent basically Luke got Rome and sent away DJ Moore and Brees Hall and draft dollars. I don't remember how many. Interesting trade. Luke really liked Rome, but then I really liked Rome. So then Luke and I traded, and I got rid of my beloved Igbuka and got Odunze, Harvey, and Hunter. So a good player and then two potential guys. So any thoughts on those before we move into matchups?
Oh, I didn't see them. Oh, they're there. Yeah, just slowing it back and forth, calling your shots. We like to see it. I felt like this. We haven't had a lot of movement recently, but it just feels like something's about to happen. Doesn't have to be a trade, but it just feels like someone's gonna emerge. What would you do if you were in last place, or really, and you were just like, man, what do I do? I feel like I can't sell anything because I get worse. I'll just pick a random team. We don't give advice, obviously, because we don't know what we're doing. But let's say I was, I don't know, just randomly pick Gliscren. And like, how does someone level up their team?
I mean, their team is really hurt, and I think you just have to identify like what is wrong with your team. So, is your team hurt? Is your team just bad? Is your team
Old.
Whatever. I think that you have to introduce variance into your lineup. So I think maybe like selling players that have value to down tier a little bit with someone who's a little bit more up and down. Like, I mean, I know I'm not saying they should do this, but like if they were to sell Justin Jefferson and get like Jameson Williams and some draft dollars or something, like I don't really like Jameson Williams, but he's a very volatile player. Maybe they could trade him again later. I think opening up roster spots is important because you need to be able to introduce new flavor into your roster. I like that they picked up Caleb Johnson. I think that's someone who could do nothing or could be something. But variance, I think we've talked about that before. If your team is bad and not going to get better, then you need to do something different.
Is it worth mentioning, hypothetically, if you have an out player and an open IR slot, you could move that person into that slot and then pick someone else up off the waiver wire?
That would be worth telling people who are interested, but that would mean that there's less players on the waiver wire for those of us who don't do that or are doing that.
I did tell a team that, and they argued with me. They said that they can't do that because they're not on IR. Doesn't matter. We're trying to help. Okay, so what are we looking ahead now?
Looking ahead, looking to next week.
Okay. Well, first of all, I don't have it on this computer, but last week we went 3-3.
Dang it. Well, no, that means I'm still winning on the season, right?
Yeah, you're still winning on the season. You're 18-17. And this week, interesting week. I'm not doing the middle of the pack this week because I don't feel like we have a middle of the pack necessarily. We do, but it's small, and I'm traveling, and I couldn't fit my furry outfit on board. But let's review some matchups. It just always does me first because it's my sleeper, so we'll do it backwards. We have Austin versus Gliscren. On the board, sleeper says it's going to be a close one. However, a closer look maybe has a different perspective. I took a look at this, and I'm bummed because I want to see you lose and I want to see them win. Jefferson on bye is going to hurt them. But I'm really worried about is Bowers. I don't think Bowers plays. McLaurin seems like that's actually a bigger deal than we thought. And it sounds like Kamara's not a big deal, but with his boy Blue, what's his name? Kendre Miller on the rise. It just feels like there's a pretty clear path towards mediocrity or underperformance. Looking at your team, I'm still not impressed, but I will give you the win.
Yeah, I'm gonna take me as well for some of the reasons you. I mean, their team is just so injured right now. I have a bad feeling about this because I think I should smash them, but something in my stomach says it's going to be closer than I'd like, and I don't know if I hit median. But I've hit median most leagues, and yeah, I don't know. We'll see. My team's injured, but I've got some decent matchups. I'm gonna go me as well.
Yeah, I'd love to see it though. We want to see parity. We want to see any team able to beat any team. So let's go. Also, yeah, I think a couple matchups are going to come down to how high scoring this Detroit versus KC game is, which means that it'll be probably take the under. But yeah, we both take the Austin. Both be happily wrong. Looking at Mac versus Bo. Right now it's pretty close, so it just kind of depends on if Bo decides to start a quarterback.
Yeah, I'm going to take. I mean, unfortunately, with the 0-10 teams, I feel like unless there are extenuating circumstances, I'm just going to go with the It's not very fun, but I mean, Mac's team hasn't hit 100 points yet this season. No, he did once. He hit 100 points once.
Once.
He's got pretty much no running backs. He's playing Harold Fannin in a flex spot. I think Mac's team is gonna wake up at some point this season, but it's probably gonna be too late. And Bo's team has been really good, so I feel like it's easy choice.
Unfortunately, a lot of Mac's good pieces are also in the keeper space. So it's like, what do you do? I made a couple offers, or at least tried to, and I was offered other opportunities than I was looking for, which makes sense. What I would say is with Mac's strategy in general, I feel like he's got a high variance. He didn't lean hard on the running backs, so 2 or 3 of these guys go off, and he's already close to being a problem. Good job, Bo. I'll never doubt you again.
It's impossible. It doesn't matter what we do. He's inevitable every year.
He is. Have you seen? Do you know who Taco is in that one show about fantasy football? The League.
I haven't watched him in a long time.
Anyway. Maybe it's time for us to actually just shut up and say Bo knows what he's doing. And I do think so. I think his Madden 2015 team here would crush every year. Okay, so we both took Bo. Love to see it. Trying to give some spotlight to
boring
boys.
So far.
Alfor versus Taylor. I took Taylor last week because I said, you know what, no more will I bet against a man who's never let me down. And he let me down, but he also let himself down. He tried really hard. It was close. It was down to the wire. I'm not disappointed. Looking at these matchups, I had a hard time seeing how this was projected to be so close.
In what direction? I wonder if we picked differently.
Well, I was like, man, I don't see how Taylor wins this. And then I took a bit of a closer look. I thought to myself, it's too soon for Jamar. He's got a new quarterback, but they didn't fix the offensive line. And I don't think CeeDee Lamb's going to play. If CeeDee Lamb doesn't play, so it's hard to say right now, but if CeeDee Lamb doesn't play, I've got Taylor winning this one. If he does play, I might still have Taylor.
All right, you got to pick one. You made me do this earlier this season, so
Taylor. But it's tricky because if people switch things out or if there's new news, we're knowing what we know right now. I'm gonna take Taylor on this one and give us a little variance because I know you're about to take him out.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I do have Al. I think this is really tight. I'm just going with the star, like the Puka Jamar combo with good matchups, and then Taylor's team has a great floor with what he has in. It's just a matter of are they going to hit their ceiling.
Yeah,
all the podcasts have been saying to start Vegas's defense, and I think that I just never want to play a shitty defense, no matter how bad the team they're playing is. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I think it could work out. I wanted them. I didn't get them. Very sad. But
sorry for your loss.
Yeah, go get them, boys. That's Alex for you, Taylor for me. We love them both. Then we got Nate versus Luke, which is my first time bringing up. I don't understand why I am in Nate's profile picture for his battle against Luke, and it says trading places. And I think what it is you and Nate do the same thing. You guys way overthink it. There's layers and layers and layers, and you put this tiny little picture in there and expect us to get it. We don't get it. Just put the picture in chat and say, this is what it means. And then we'll understand. Be stupid.
Wait, no, it's not you. It's Luke. It still doesn't make sense, though, because Luke got last place last year. I think he's saying that he switched.
Oh, that is Luke. Do me and Luke look the same?
Both very handsome.
Oh. So you're saying, so it's not me. What he's saying is, go ahead and fix that in post. He's saying, is he trying to jinx himself, saying he's going to be as bad as Luke? Wait a second.
Yeah, I think I almost get it, but that was a good one. I think it was some kind of Siamese.
Why can't I just click on this? This is the dumbest thing about this.
You can do it on the app, but
right. That's what I'm saying. Why can't I do it here?
Because they hate desktop. They will never optimize it.
Okay, so looking at these teams, you got to pick first this time. I already made my pick, but you call it.
I already took my hand. I'm gonna pick against the 0-10 teams. I've been trying to get spicy with them, and it makes me look like a fool. So I'll go Nate. I mean, tonight, Thursday night game is big for Nate always, anytime. But he's got Jacobs against Cincinnati. That's a big game. He's starting Kendrick Bourne, maybe. Ferguson's been a good get for him. And then Luke's team is, I mean, it's just like, doesn't really matter what the matchups are. His talent is not good enough right now, but maybe it will be Sunday.
I believe Nate is one of 3 teams or 2 teams starting 2 tight ends this week.
Shout out.
Mac is also starting 2 tight ends.
Too bad about, I mean, Nate's looking good. He has Pearsall and Mason and Aaron Jones not playing this week, so he's got some good guys.
Okay, we both picked Nate, so that means he's going to get lowest score. Looking at the next one, we have Blood Diarrhea versus Josh. We're going to find out if Josh is the real deal. I think that was a high variance week, but you know he's got a team. Got some hype, man. Got the aura farmer himself, JCM, and I think when I look at these, I thought to myself, I think I'm going to take Josh, and I'll tell you why. I don't know that I have a lot of trust in the Lions to pop off this week. I do see they were able to sit Jameson Williams, which is probably a good idea, which means he's probably going to pop off. But I think that's a low-scoring affair. Therefore, Josh does it again.
Unfortunately, I'm also picking Josh. I think this and the top 2 matchup, these are my favorite matchups of the week. I think both of these teams are great. I think they're both going to make the playoffs. But they are not happy to see each other this week because they are both heating up and both could use a win because the loser is going to be below 500. So, I just think Josh has better matchups. I think Dak will smash, Judkins will smash, London hopefully will smash. AJ Barner, weird play, but we'll see.
The loser could stay 500.
True. The loser will not have a winning record.
The winner tips the scale, you would say.
The winner tips the scale.
Still feels like both these teams are better than 500. I would still pick both of those teams over your team. So interesting.
Well, I'm 1-1 against them, so fuck you.
So we both picked the Josh man. Josh looks like a very handsome youth pastor, I realized.
How do you know he isn't?
Well, I didn't say wasn't. I say he looks like one.
All right.
You can look like what you are.
Let's look at the matchup of the week.
This is the matchup because it's the 2 highest predicted total via sleeper. It is the 2 highest scored in the league, the 2 lowest points against in the league. It is the 2 most hated teams in the league.
I think this is gonna honestly, this is a huge matchup because we have the 1 seed getting a bye. If you even go 1-1, Brian, that would mean if you go 1-1, that means Steven goes 2-0, and he has a 3-game lead on you for the 1 seed. Which, I mean, there's a lot of time left, but you don't want to see that. So this is big. I think Josh will have a good comeback effort against Atlanta. I mean, that's honestly where this is going to come down to Monday night. Josh Allen versus James Cook, who's getting more of those touchdowns, honestly. And then we've also got a lot of got McCaffrey and Baker playing against each other. That'll matter. And then Genty playing a bad defense, which I think he's going to have a good week. But then I look on Steven's side, and he's got Diggs, remember how to play. Kraft is playing the fake defense. And he's got Bijan against Buffalo. Again, like, that's a huge – you're going into Monday night with Josh Allen against James Cook and Bijan, and I think you're going to want to have 30-point lead at that point. So,
who would you take rest of season, Bijan or McCaffrey?
Bijan. I would have taken.
That's crazy because I do feel like that's the feeling. Bijan currently is number 7 running back overall, number 29 overall.
With one less game than everyone else.
With one less game. But what's interesting about McCaffrey is 0 rushing touchdowns. I think it is 0. So any touchdown regression is good. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, it kind of feels.
Bijan actually has less touchdowns than McCaffrey. That's crazy.
It kind of feels like inevitable. You know, when you watch like what was that one superhero movie where and the guy goes like this, they all disappear.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
I don't think that's it, but it just feels like, oh, that can't possibly happen. No way would they kill off whatever. The bad guys can't win. It just feels inevitable. In fact, I'm just gonna call it now and just concede.
God damn it! I was hoping you would. I got Steven as well, so I guess we're aligned there. That's a bummer.
Yeah, I really do think Steven's team should win this if I was being objective. However, I do see a path for both of us. He's got a floor team, I think, but I have at least some injuries just pop up. I got a hammy out of QJ and a wrist out of Amon-Ra, who's a dog. He'll play, but like it just doesn't feel good. It's not how I wanted to meet him, even though every other week except for last week I would have beat him. It still feels bad.
Well, we'll see. That's the one I'm looking at this week, and it has probably the biggest implications of any matchup thus far.
Such big implications. I just wanted to actually call something out. I can't really see it super great here, but did you want to talk on this on your matchup? This little screenshot. It
Brian,
says, "Should we bet against these power rankings?"
Yes, thank you for sharing that. So I was
TikTok dances say we finished higher than our power ranking that Austin gave us. Who wants to take the bet?
In a sense, it's funny because Chris was so confident in his team after the draft and so mad that I would put him at number 5, which it turns out was much too high. But in another sense, it's sad because I miss Chris and I want him to engage more. And I know that only comes if he wins matchups. So if my loss this week is in the greater good of having Chris pop off in the chat, I understand. And the football gods will make it up to me at some point.
I had them at 3rd. You had them at 5th. Yeah. I mean, go get them. Go get them, boys.
Go get them, boys. We believe in you all. We love you all. Can't wait for someone to be really upset about our podcast this week. Goodbye.